Rodney Ward, American Legion Post 114, Commander. Georgetown County Veterans Memorial. The memorial was completed and dedicated in 2016. The memorial is set up spanning from the American Revolution to the War on Terror. The memorial is a salute to the Georgetown County veterans and memorializes those who died in service to our country. The text on the northwest face of the memorial slabs were written by local authors and describe how each conflict affected the Georgetown area. The names on the southeast memorial slabs list the veterans who died in the particular conflict. The two largest slabs list the names of the American Legion and VFW members from the post's inception until 2016.
The American Revolutionary War. From 1775 to 1782, Americans faced off against the largest empire in the world. Led by General George Washington, who later became our first president, we won our independence from Great Britain and became a free nation. As a child, Francis Marion spent time here in Georgetown with his cousins at Belle Isle Plantation. He would grow up to become known as the Swamp Fox, while harassing the British with his well-known guerrilla tactics. It was Francis Marion who rescued Georgetown in 1780 from British occupation and was one of the military leaders who was instrumental in winning our independence. 8 known Georgetown County patriots lost their lives while fighting for our freedom from Great Britain.
The war between the states. This was America's bloodiest war, as brother against brother fought each other from 1861 to 1865. There were more than 600,000 deaths from this war, which is more than all others combined. The highest number of casualties inscribed on the memorial are from this war, with close to 600 known deaths from Georgetown County. The economy of Georgetown suffered for many years due to the freeing of the slaves, and many of the former plantations fell into disrepair.
World War I. World War I was known as the War to End All Wars, or the Great War. It began in 1914, and America tried to stay neutral, but due to enemy action against our civilian ships, we were forced to enter in 1917 and fought the Germans in occupied France. With the help of our country, an armistice was declared on November 11, 1918 at 11 a.m. It was this date, the 11th hour and the 11th month, that established this remembrance for Veterans Day. Celebrating this day in 1926, the Daughters of the American Revolution unveiled a plaque on the county courthouse in honor of the men from Georgetown who served in World War I and in memory of the 31 who died while serving.
World War II. It was a war like no other in American history. This war covered all corners of the globe from 1941 to 1945. With over 400,000 deaths, this was our deadliest war next to the war between the states. And one of the greatest secrets during World War II, President Franklin D. Roosevelt spent 4 weeks in Georgetown at Hobcaw Barony as a guest of his financial advisor, Bernard Baruch. The relaxing time spent at Hobcaw gave the president much needed rest, while at the same time discussing the final plans with his military advisors on the approach Normandy invasion. 50 young men from Georgetown County never returned from this war to their family and friends.
Some call the Korean War the Forgotten War, but for 3 years, from 1950 to 1953, America fought a full-fledged war to keep South Korea free from takeover by both the communist North Korean and Chinese governments. More than 400 South Carolinians were killed in the Korean War, with 6 of those casualties coming from Georgetown County.
Lasting from 1964 to 1975, the Vietnam War was the longest war the United States fought until the recent war in Afghanistan. This war was very controversial at the time and is still one of the most misunderstood wars today. 18 sons, brothers, uncles, and fathers from Georgetown County lost their lives during this war. 9 Army veterans, 7 Marine Corps veterans, and 2 Air Force veterans paid the supreme sacrifice for our country. One of the Marine Corps veterans was my 24-year-old brother, Lance Corporal Eugene White, who died in Da Nang in 1966. As a 13-year-old 8th grader at the time, the news of his tragic death 1 week before Christmas shocked and devastated my family and the community. His parents, his 3 brothers and 7 sisters mourned his death for decades. The memories of this 1961 Howard High School graduate, who was an honor student and a member of the 1960 football championship team, continue to live in the hearts of those who knew and loved them best.
Desert Storm. The last war America took part in during the 20th century took place in 1990 and 91 when Kuwait was invaded by Iraq. We sent 700,000 troops to protect this small country from being taken over. No Georgetown County Army National Guard units were called up, but 2,400 of their friends in both the Army and Air National Guard were deployed. Georgetown County resident Patrick C. Burns, my husband, was the only casualty during this war, having died of a service-connected illness on July 18, 1992.
The War on Terror began on September 11, 2001, when terrorists hijacked and flew 3 passenger airplanes into the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Due to action taken by the passengers to overtake the hostages, a 4th airplane crashed into a remote field in Philadelphia. Over 3,000 lives were lost on this day, and the War on Terror continues. As of today, only 1 military person from Georgetown County has lost his life in this war. Our son, Airman First Class Carl L. Anderson Jr., was killed on August 29, 2004, when the vehicle he was driving hit an explosive device hidden in a road.